Google Ads recently held a massive marketing event called the Google Marketing Live 2025, and some of the updates they've revealed when it comes to the Google Ads platform have truly left me shaken. So in this video, I'm going to deep dive into exactly what was covered within the Google Marketing Live 2025 and uncover exactly what it means for us e-commerce brand owners running with Google Ads. Because trust me, these big updates have a massive impact on the future of your brand with Google. Now, I went through all of the details within the Google Marketing Live. I even watched some portions of the video of the actual event to understand exactly what this whole update was all about. And I summarized all of it so you don't have to spend your time kind of going deep into it yourself. But basically, on the surface level, it sounds very fancy and very unique, and it's all about artificial intelligence. So things such as AI-generated shopping agents, things such as a conversational interface for your ads directly in terms of search campaigns and whatnot. Now, artificial intelligence is going to be determining a lot of those things, and users on the google.com platform actually have the ability to speak to AI, to speak to software, to figure out what kind of products they should be shown and what kind of ads should be shown based on that conversation. And the biggest thing of all, which I thought was very unique, was they actually have new campaign types and even a new bidding strategy that they've introduced. So what you want to understand about just AI in general when it comes to Google Ads is, even though at this point of time, if you are not using any sort of AI tools, you want to understand that your products are still entering auctions where the artificial intelligence, the robots, decides what ranks where and why. That artificial intelligence at this point of time has been looking at things such as your product feed, your ad copy, your landing page experience, your bids, budget, so on and so forth. So this was already live in the back end. But now what you want to understand is, with these new changes, all of the things which you were originally doing before, which were geared more towards the human, now have to be geared towards the robot first before it gets geared towards the human. That's the biggest change of all, because the robot, all of these artificial intelligence-led changes will now determine if your ad should even be ranking at a certain point of time or not on a deeper level. Now, all of this has been done through things such as the AI overview section or the AI search section, where now your ads can directly appear in Google's AI-generated search results. So for instance, if you were to do a simple search for a product, if you were to do a simple phrase search for anything related to buying a product, researching about it, etc., this is the generative AI, which is now going to be revealed on the screen of the user searching. So this is entirely artificial intelligence based, artificial intelligence driven, and based on how you interact here, your ads will start showing up in this manner, whether it's search campaigns or whether it's for actual products or whatnot. It's going to be decided directly via what the system decides, based on certain keywords you may have, based on certain kinds of product you may offer, which the user is also searching for when they're typing certain phrases within google.com. So it's now going above and beyond what you normally needed to have in terms of the right SEO keyword, in terms of high perceived value, so on and so forth. So that's kind of the biggest impact Google is now having on the overviews and the AI search based side of things in terms of how things are going to get searched for. Second, as I mentioned earlier, is a new smart bidding based option. This new bidding option is now called Smart Bidding Exploration. Basically what this does is it pursues less obvious and potentially high performing searches, giving the people running the ads the chance to appear in more of the moments where people are researching and discovering information on search. So what this essentially means is it's no longer about buying intent keywords like buy 3D printer or buy a phone or buy toilet paper or anything like that. Rather, now it's expanded beyond that into the research phase, into the discovering phase, and going into more on the top funnel traffic side of things, because this smart bidding based exploration strategy, this bidding strategy, will now take those into account and actually try to bid for those kinds of keywords and those kinds of users who are constantly in that portion of the funnel, which is on the very high top level. So this is going to cause a lot of extra issues and whatnot for us e-commerce brand owners, which I'll go over very shortly. But now moving on to the creative and campaign tool side of things, with artificial intelligence, with this new update, now Google has actually introduced something called the VO and Imagine AI tools, which both of these are designed to create videos of full-on artificial intelligence driven, and there's not a single real thing about it. I don't know if you have already looked at some of the videos circulating around on the internet which are created by VO, but this goes beyond ultra reality. I mean, you just cannot tell the difference between something that's fake and something that's real anymore, and this is more of a creative tool which Google Ads is introducing now, so that it becomes much easier for you to create the right kinds of video creatives, or so that it becomes much easier for you to create the right kind of strategy in general. And it's going to be very useful in the Performance Max asset side of things, because now you have literally no reason to have low quality images, low quality videos and whatnot. But in addition to that, in terms of Performance Max campaigns directly, they're adding a lot more control to your pmax campaigns. Now, I'll be honest, out of all of the updates I've seen so far, this is the one that I like the most, because now with Performance Max campaign controls, you actually have the ability to add in negative keywords. You can also do things such as view search term reports and see breakdowns by channel within your Performance Max campaign. All of these things are things that are now giving you more control as the user, as an advertiser, versus taking away your control, which a lot of these other updates are doing. So that's one positive thing with Performance Max campaign side of things. But in addition, in terms of measuring the impact of your ads, now you have the ability to see brand search attribution to your ads in general. For instance, now you have the ability to basically see how your video ads lead to more people searching for your brand in general. Because keep in mind, these top of the funnel traffic related ads such as demand gen, display, discovery, YouTube, they're not always going to lead to direct sales. More often than not, they're going to lead users down a funnel which you should be aware of and which you should know how they're interacting with their funnel. And this upgrade basically lets you now look into the brand search side of things, lets you understand that if this branded search traffic is actually something you should be bidding for or not. But in addition, they have something called the Data Manager API, which they're now adding within this update, which makes it very easy for you to connect your GA4, CRM, and all other ad data all in one place. So there's no reason for you to not be sure if your tracking is accurate or not, and there should be no reason for it to be inaccurate at all, because this Data Manager API makes it so easy and so straightforward for you to have all of your tracking in one place. But now, moving on to some of the biggest features in terms of e-commerce side of things and shopping. First thing is, now they're adding in shoppable YouTube ads. So although YouTube shopping placements were something they were already planning to do for quite some time now viewers can buy directly the products from video ads, even on TV and the YouTube homepage. So they no longer have to be looking at one specific creator and then look at the products directly based around that creator. Now you can run your YouTube shopping ads on the homepage of YouTube as well as on TV, and you can buy products directly from these video ads without having to do a single thing extra, without having to go through some random pages, funnels, etc. And the biggest kind of interesting thing that they are adding is something called the virtual try-on method. Now, this virtual try-on, as we see right here on my screen, this is basically shopping with artificial intelligence, where now you have the ability to actually try on a product live while you're shopping through it. So if you look right here, just by adding your body in, just by adding basically all of the features of your face and whatnot in, you now have the ability to swipe through different dresses, swipe through literally everything you potentially can to try it on before you actually purchase it. This is absolutely insane, but this is something that's going to take shopping to the very next level, along with the next added update which they have recently introduced, which is the artificial intelligence assistant within Google Ads. So if you go to some pages of your Google Ads, for instance, for example, you go within your Performance Max campaign to the asset group section and you try to add a brand new asset group, there in some accounts you will see that it actually has a chat box that opens up on the right hand side of the menu, and the artificial intelligence software is chatting with you to understand how it can help you create a better Google Ads strategy, to create a better Performance Max asset groups approach, and so on and so forth, which I thought was absolutely insane. But that is now again taking artificial intelligence and Performance Max campaigns to to a whole new level. Now, with that being said and done, with all of these updates getting introduced, what does it actually mean for you as an e-commerce brand, and what should you be focused on doing in the upcoming days, weeks, months, and years? Well, first things first, you want to understand is that these updates, they're not all doom and gloom. There's going to now definitely be a lot more visibility with AI-powered search, for example, and just all of these artificial intelligence related updates trying to ensure your ads are shown to more people. That's the ultimate goal with updates, in my opinion, why Google is adding all of these things in. They want users to have bigger reach. They want users to reach more pockets of the audience without really narrowing down unnecessarily. And that's what a lot of these updates will help do. But according to Google, the reason why they added all these updates in is because they believe smarter automation is going to equal better scaling. Now, personally, I don't really agree with this because I believe more and more automation is actually going to reduce scaling. It's going to take away a lot of the control you have with your strategy and make it more robotic in terms of your approach and your creativity. And of course, we all know a human wants to interact with another human. They don't want to be interacting with the robots, especially those in buying intent. So I personally believe this is not going to lead the way Google wants it to lead, where it thinks it's going to lead to more scaling. But the third major thing, which I believe Google is thinking that this will add, is easier ad creation with built-in AI. Now, it is true that making ads will now be basically a click of a button. Within 2 seconds, you can have a very good video or an image for your asset group section within Performance Max, or your search ad copies can be very solid, very straightforward. However, again, they're going to lack a lot of creativity, which is truly needed to make any brand succeed with Google Ads. But one thing I do agree that Google does believe will come about with these updates is better reporting and control in Performance Max. They have definitely did a good job of adding in certain things back into Performance Max, which give a lot more control back to us. And of course, with the new ways to drive purchases with like shoppable video, for example, being able to purchase directly on the YouTube homepage and whatnot, I truly believe this is now going to help take the brands to a very new level. But in total, what you want to understand is that this is kind of basically going back to what happened when smart shopping campaigns became Performance Max campaigns. And for those of you that haven't been around since smart shopping campaigns used to be in existence, basically smart shopping was a standard shopping campaign on steroids before Performance Max was introduced. And when that introduction was made between smart shopping and pmax, there was a lot of turmoil for a lot of brands. A lot of brands went bankrupt trying to figure out pmax with Google Ads, but eventually everybody got the hang of them. And that's exactly what I believe is in the upcoming days, weeks, and months, where we might see a little bit of turmoil for a lot of brands which are trying to now incorporate a lot of these AI features, trying to adjust their old strategies and approaches which used to work with the old ways to now fit this artificial intelligence driven approach. And I truly believe that the next few weeks and months will be very crucial for a lot of brands, especially those trying to kind of fit in and actually start using these new updates for their own advantage. But keep in mind that now that you have access to all of these tools and whatnot that these updates bring about, a lot of your competitors have access to the same exact things, which means it's going to be very, very easy now to blend in with your competitors unless you have the right people handling your team, unless you really go above and beyond with your actual Google Ads strategy, which again, if you run a brand doing $50,000 or more per month in revenue and you need some extra help scaling to the next level with Google Ads, go onto my website, yourmarketing.com, and schedule a free call with me, and let's see how we can potentially work together and make that happen.